Upstate golf guys, here we go. Anthony Rogers steal the show. RGB Florida Mike on the scene. Hollywood Mikey living the dream. Eagle birdie par bogey fly. Swing that club, watch it sky. Lombardi putter shine so clean. Golfing addicts chasing the green. Scrounge up balls from trouble spots, off the tee or random plots. Long drive legend with a grin. Grip it, rip it, let's begin. We're the crew you can't outdrive. Golf obsession keeps us alive. Buzzing by in a golf cart spree. Talking swing, sipping iced tea. Eagle, birdie, par, bogey, fly. Swing that club, watch it sky. Lombardi putter shine so clean. Golfing addicts chasing the green.
And here we go for another episode of the Upstate Golf Guys podcast. I have one of my favorite co-hosts with me, Florida Mike. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, brother? How are we doing tonight?
We're doing great, man. I have a lot of golf coming up this week, and I have a big tournament. You already know, man, and I'm getting ready, buddy. I'm getting ready. I'm getting in the right mindset. But tonight we have a pretty cool guest, man. He's from down your way, and I'm honored to have him on with us. Because I'll tell you what, this guy is an artist. That's the way you described him. He is an artist, man. And I saw the work he has done at a beautiful golf course. Luis Rivera, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and I want you to tell the listeners the golf course that you're super at, my friend. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. My name is Luis Rivera. I'm the superintendent over the ROOST course down here at Cabot Citrus Farm, located in Brooksville, Florida. I've been with the company now going on 2 years here shortly. I had a small stint. At first, I was an assistant superintendent. I came over from Black Diamond, which is a private course down here as well. I spent 8 years there and then transferred over, and got a job and a great opportunity over at Cabot. And it's been a blessing ever since. So
that's
happy
awesome
to be here.
Oh, I mean, listen, this course is incredible. I want you to tell me a little bit about what got you into course maintenance in the first place and what brought you to that
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, believe it or not, 10 years ago, I was kind of scrambling around. I kind of didn't really have a journey of some sort, and I was kind of job here, job there, and landed a job at Black Diamond. And kind of fell in love with it from day one. Always been nitty gritty, went after it, super motivated, and kind of started grinding, climbed the ranks pretty quickly. I would say it did take 8 years, but it felt really fast. And here we are,
It's awesome.
And let's not make any mistake about this, okay? Like, Black Diamond because I talk about the tournaments.
Exactly.
This is a top Black Diamond. When he was working there, was a top 100 golf course.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, back in the day, it was a top 100 golf course for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the place is beautiful.
So now we're from upstate New York here, and I'm personal friends with one of the supers at our course we play at Freer Park, and we deal with a lot of BS weather all winter long. I'm sure you don't have the problems we have in the winter, but I'm sure one of your biggest problems you deal with down there in Florida is the heat, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Right now we're in a pretty bad drought. Luckily I looked at the radar actually before coming on with you guys, and we've actually gotten an inch of rain out in Brooksville tonight for the first time, and it feels like forever. So it's been a serious battle, a lot more watering, keeping everything nice and green, or trying to at least, but the drought definitely took a little toll on us, but she's turning back around quickly.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Luis, tell me a little bit about this picture and what's going on here, buddy?
Yeah. So this picture, actually, when I first got to Cabot, I was the first assistant superintendent to my great mentor and a great friend, Brian Ramsey. Our director, Steve Blake, put me on this project here shortly when we got there and kind of flagged it out and said, hey, we got to turn this into a bunker. And this was over on the squeeze course early in my time at Cabot there. It feels like forever ago, but technically it was only about a year and change ago. And we flipped it out. I mean, it was a tough one. lot of skid steer work, a lot of shaping in there, and adding some sand here and there. But she turned out to be pretty good. It's on hole number 2. And if you
Okay.
hit long, if you hit long on squeeze number 2, you're going to face that bunker, and it's going to be a pretty tough shot.
You're in trouble.
A lot of our tees kind of roll into the fairway. We don't have too many separate tee boxes. We do have a lot of rolling, tees into fairway, especially over on the squeeze course for sure.
What kind of sand do you guys use versus what everybody else uses?
We just have native sand. So actually right off the property, just native sand. We've been filling them with a lot of our native sand there. It's just, I guess that's how I call it. It's native sand, kind of a little more orange hinty, kind of yellowish color. Yeah. Kind of what you see in the picture there for number 2 on the squeeze.
So you guys recycle everything you use pretty much, then?
We order, we do order sand from the outside for our top dressing programs and things like that. We top dress approaches and fairways and, tees and greens, and that's more of a finer sand, but the native sand does pretty well in the bunkers for us.
Nice. Okay. So now, Lewis, what does a typical day look like for you, like during peak season?
During peak season, I tell my guys, the basics are the most important thing. So, bunkers, mowing greens or rolling greens or a combination of the two, cutting cups and tee service. If we could do those 8 to 9 out of 10, on a score every day, we're going to be in a pretty good spot. Peak season, we go out and we get after it. We were walking only this year, so that's a cool thing to throw out there, that the course was during, kind of peak season, we were walking only. And that does help us with stress on the grass, and kind of getting around those wear areas that we usually see when we introduce carts here during the summer. So,
of course, man, of course.
And the Roost is his baby, and I will tell you, when I walked it, my phone told me that it was a little over 7.5 miles and 29 flights of stairs.
There you go.
Ooh, that's a lot of undulation.
Oh yeah.
All right, you had something cool going on here, Lewis. Tell me a little bit about what this is. You told me a little bit about first recording. Yeah.
Right around holiday season, we're heading into Christmas break. The guys, actually, the company's so great. Cabot's an amazing company to work for. They actually, a lot of the guys got 3 to 4 days off leading into Christmas. And on the 23rd, we decided to host an Agronomy Cup. We took a piece of cedar, so I'm going to cap you in on the trophy, a piece of cedar, and we actually took an old cup cutter and painted it gold and actually put it on the cedar, red cedar, which is a red tree basically on the base, and then a gold cup cutter. And basically we got everybody together. At first I thought we were going to get 3 to 4 foursomes, 12 to 16 guys. We ended up having about 45 guys, 46 guys come out for the Agronomy Cup, and it was a smash. It was a hit, and now we're planning on to see how we move it around, different times of the years throughout all the courses on the property. So pretty cool thing there.
That's awesome, man. That's an amazing turnout. That's pretty cool. What's so Lewis, what's your how long have you been playing golf? What's your handicap? You really into it?
I've probably been playing about 7 years now. I'd probably say right now, because I only get out once a week. Honestly, I can be honest with you, probably I would say 18 to 20 range,
Okay.
Same as me. Yeah.
Yeah, but playing once a week doesn't quite do it. You guys know with this game, it's got to be a lot of consistency, and you got to get after it, a lot to really dial in, just like anything else in life. But
absolutely.
Now, let me ask you, when you're playing out there on your beautiful course, do you think you have a little bit of an edge on the green, since the undulations maybe a little more than some of the guys you're playing with? Or?
Yeah, I would say yes and no, because I still end up on the wrong side a lot of times, you know what I mean? Or hit a bad shot. I hook it left or hit a little right, and then, she puts you in really bad places. So sometimes, even though I do have it, I know exactly what it looks like. I know what it's going to do. She eats me up a lot for sure.
That's fun, man.
He might have to be my caddy when I play the Florida Regional there in June.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, no problem.
Yeah.
So that's Florida Mike. I found that out actually today. I asked Adam how I looked it up actually, or I found out that the only way you can have a caddy on the Golf Week Am Tour is if the course provides offers them. So that's listen, I kind of want to come down to that event just so I can have a caddy, and you guys provide caddies. That's pretty amazing. And if I'm
gonna get one, and it's gonna be Lewis, and I'm gonna pay him, and I'm gonna tip him well, and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna win that thing.
I love it, man. That's a great idea. That guy knows those greens more than anything, man. Speaking of greens, I believe this is a green before it was. Tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, so this was actually, again, over my first tenure there over on the squeeze. This was actually our short game area, way before now it's really established now, but this was actually our short game area practice green here, chipping green if you want to say. And basically to get through the wintertime, we just do some Poa trivialis on it, a little bit of bent grass that we had laying around. And slowly but surely, what you're seeing here is how the journey kind of unfolds. You start with nothing, you throw the pre-emergence down, you throw some fertilizers, beginning fertilizers down. Before you know it, the seed pops, give it the right atmosphere, and there towards the end, that picture when we double cut it, that's kind of what it turned out to be. And she was in really good shape for the wintertime.
That's awesome, and I know you guys take so much pride in your courses.
Yeah.
It's just like it's your baby. It's amazing.
Yeah, listen, it is my office every day, and I do not take it for granted. I think the opportunity at Cabot has been probably, other than my family, my two boys and my beautiful wife, it's been the biggest blessing in my life. And absolutely, going to Cabot every day and knowing that that's my office, I take a lot of pride. And if you follow me on Instagram, I know Mike does.
Oh yeah.
I share it just about every single day. I mean, the views, the reels. I mean, it's a beautiful place. I am beyond blessed to be where I'm at. And God has put me here. So it's a great place to be.
Amen to that.
And let me ask you this, since we're talking about this, when you got put onto the roost,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And I've played it, so I highly enjoyed it. I think it's beautiful. When it was finished and it was ready for play,
Mhm.
and all that hard work you put in, how did you feel when you gave the green light to be able to open it up?
Yeah, you know what? It was amazing, and at times I felt like we were still kind of a little premature. You know what I mean, when we got it open, but it was ready to play. You know what I mean? But the hard work we
Yeah.
put in, I have a great team behind me. I have great leadership. I have a great, assistant director who's my mentor, plus my 15-man crew that I manage. Along with my assistant director back then, who was my superintendent. Um, and it was great, a lot of hard work, a lot of, really great effort from the team, and they got us over the finish line, and she was, like I said, a little premature, but she's coming along very well right now. But super happy, super grateful. It does pay off, the hard, long days, coming in after work, making sure the water's not staying stuck on, and all the other good stuff that comes with construction. But really amazing process.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got you, and I got a couple of videos of you in action here. Got a little slow motion on the mic there.
You get them dialed in so good, you rely on your sprinkler system, especially during this hot drought and times like this. But once you get them really dialed in, it only becomes a thing where you go up to the green. I see it with my eyes. I know where there's a hot spot. I hit that little hot spot with my, my hose, and I go green to green, and it becomes really simple from there. So you kind of fall away from the sprinklers and you rely on your hose a lot more. A cool story there, that was actually, I was on that course for about 5 months as like interim super while they were searching for the new super. So I actually handled a lot more, but I think it was such a great experience because it really molded me into, when the opportunity came to take over the Roost, I was kind of, it took everything I had, molded it during those 5 months, really took it to the extreme, and just got me over that hump of, getting my first superintendent shot out at Cabot.
That's amazing, dude. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always just wanted to be the lawnmower guy. Not like this. Just put me out there. But I could just mow the lawn on a golf course all day long. I mean, don't make me do anything fancy. Put me out there on the rough, or put me out there I don't want to be messing greens up or anything. But man, it is golf is something that I truly love, and it just brings peace to me when I'm out there on the golf course. It's just me, the guys, and the golf course. And Mike has said it before. You're kind of like this. You want to escape that reality to come into this little reality that we have just for this short time, and it's our escape, man. And I'm sure you feel the same way, dude, when you're there at work.
Yeah, man. I mean, to me, honestly, every day is almost like therapy. I don't have to pay for it. I don't have to go to a therapist. I mean, going out there and do what I love to do every single day, it just becomes therapy. I say when you love something, it doesn't really feel like work. I go up there and just lead a big group of guys, and we smash things and we get things done. I'm just super grateful, man. Blessed.
That's amazing. I can't say any more words, but you're blessed, because that's so cool. It's such a cool job. But here, I have another video that you sent Florida Mike. I'm just going to bring a couple of videos up now, and you could tell me after what your mic doesn't come through, Lewis. I can't, when it's on for some reason, when I have them on like this, only screen share, I could hear your mic. But I wait till after the video, and then you could tell me a little bit about what it's all about.
Now. Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah. So it's actually a good view there from our 18th tee box, from our tangerines and our green tees there. If you look over to the left where I start, you're looking over at 9 green. Then you have 10 fairway, across the lake straight ahead, and 18's over to the right, with a nice lake right in the middle. I mean, it's a beautiful sight. That's a beautiful place to be.
So beautiful, man. So beautiful. And then we have this one right here.
Yeah.
So nice. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing there, because she was still pretty premature there, but that was actually our first shotgun tournament we held on it. And that was actually a really, really great moment for me, because I actually sat there and just took that moment in when you have, I don't know what it was, maybe 50, 60 carts coming onto the course as a shotgun. And like Mike was mentioning earlier, all the hard work you put in to finally see a shotgun going off. So that was our actual first shotgun on the Roost. So that was a pretty special moment, because that one really hit me. I actually sat there on 9 and kind of just, paused for a good 5 minutes, looked at all the carts coming down and said, here we are, we're open for business, and it's a good place to be.
So, Lewis, Florida Mike is coming up to our area to play one of our courses that we play on our tour, Crump and Fox. It's in Western Massachusetts. And one of the deals is, if he's coming up here to play on tour, I have to come down there next year to play an event on tour. But, I mean, we don't necessarily have to play it on tour, Florida Mike. We just have to play it. All right, buddy?
Oh, yeah.
We just have to play it. Like, I'm
100%.
This course is incredible.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, Black and Red Diamond's nice. Like, I'm not taking anything away from them, but to me, all the golf courses I played, Innisbrook, South Carolina, nothing down here touches Cabot. You want something like this, you go play like Robert Trent Jones, the Ocean course over in South Carolina. It's kind of got that same vibe where it's very green, open, perfect, great bunkers. I personally can't wait to see it in June. I'm gonna definitely be there before then to get some practice rounds in for sure.
Yeah.
What, other than the Roost, your baby?
Yep.
What do you like most? The second most on that whole facility. It can be anything.
Yeah, believe it or not, Caru's great in its own ways. It's pretty open. A lot more sandy, a lot more open sandy areas over on Carew. I mean, humongous greens. Averages about 10,000 square foot greens over on that side. So you have a lot of green. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But honestly, I think a small gem that we have, and it's a true gem, is the Squeeze course, which is a 10-hole short course. It's a very, very fun course. It's a Mike Nuzzo design, and it's super fun. I mean, we get out there with a lot of guys from work, on Thursdays as well, and it just gives you the shot. Plays a little shorter, so you're able to go for the green, 280, 290. If you want to, maybe play with your buddies and put some money up or make some bets, you know what I mean? It's going to make it very fun, because there's holes where you can go after it, and you'll be penalized as well. So it kind of becomes, a really, really fun executive little short course that's a true gem there on property. The Wedge as well. The Wedge is the 11-hole par 3 course, lit up at night, has music playing throughout. I mean, it's a vibe. You got the porch. They have a wood fire pizza up there, drinks. I mean, it's a Cabot in itself is just a whole vibe. But we have 2 true championship courses that I'm grateful to be on the property. They're both amazing. And then the gems, the 10-hole and the 11-hole courses are very fun too. So the whole property is just amazing.
That's so cool.
When you're playing the Squeeze, don't go in them bunkers.
No, yeah,
Don't go in them bunkers. We're talking. There's one that, like, I forgot what hole it is, but it runs along the wedge. And if you look you look in the middle of the fairway, the bunker is legit 12 feet high. The guy looked like a midget hitting out of it.
Really?
Like, he hit a good drive. Like, I was like, we almost got hit by his friends. That's what made us turn around. And we saw a dude landed in the bunker. And I'm like, I got to see this, because there's like a lot of optical illusions with these courses.
100%.
In a sense, and you really got to be careful. Like, that's part of the trickery. Like, the greens are huge, right? So everybody's like, yeah, green and regulation. But you gotta hit your line, and you gotta hit it at the right speed. And then there's times where you're on any tee box. So in the Roost too, you'll be on the tee box, you won't know where to hit it if you haven't played there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Caddy
um,
helps.
yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Like the undulation, I guess you call them like the snack houses
Yeah, or
on the
comfort
golf courses.
stations.
I mean, they got people in there serving you, cooking you food, making you sandwiches. You can buy drinks. You can chill because they got like an outdoor seating area. You know what I mean? I mean, dude. I mean, and you're
Right.
looking at, and when you get on the par three, you look down on a par three. I mean, it's amazing on the
Florida
roof.
Mike, how much money do I have to bring when I come down there? Because we're going to be playing a lot of golf over there. What's the tag? All right, so what's the tag for the average folk that wants to come? Is it private? Is it private or is it?
No,
No, it's public.
It's public. All right, so what's the tag? What's the price tag, Lewis? If average guy
Right
wants to play?
now,
Yep.
after tax, I believe you're at about 425 around.
That's okay. Listen,
Yep.
we go to nationals in Hilton Head, and I mean that's what those courses get. If you want to play a harbor town or you want to play an ocean course,
Yep.
listen, we pay it, and I will gladly pay.
100%.
No problem at all, brother. What? So
and
go ahead.
and that's the difference. And I tell people all the time because you hear it, I hear it when people complain about golf courses, right? And prices, right? Like you'll hear 1,000 people complain that their $30 course is in bad shape, but will refuse to pay for a nice golf course. And I tell them, I was like, it's been like this your whole entire life. There's no exception to golf. You get what you pay for. And and I tell them, I said, just do it once. Because when you see where your money goes, then you're like, okay. And it's not like you have to play the course to understand where it went. It's right when you walk in. The
Yeah.
hospitality, getting greeted at the car, getting your bag, getting your cart ready or your caddies ready, shuttling you to the driving range, which is gigantic, the 2.5-acre putting green, and then they meet you right there and you meet. And I mean, it's just the hospitality is like bar none. And what you don't see at a $30 golf course that you will see at a $400 golf course is people working on the course.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Big
And
time.
that's where your money's at.
It's important. It's important. It's one of my biggest pet peeves up here. I actually talk about it all the time is when I see courses opening early when they shouldn't be. They're just doing it to get as much money as they can. It happens all the time up here. We have courses. That's my favorite course, Freer Park. Shout out Greg Tudor. He will not open the golf course until the grass is growing up here. He said because it just gets muddy, trampled down, and you can see it up here when courses put the money back into the course. We respect it. We'll go pay the money gladly. And then there's courses, listen, up here that literally we know it now. We know that all you guys want is our money. You open up early, you fill the tee sheet up. The course is trash. I love I'll pay it, man. I don't mind. I love the game of golf so much. If it's a course that looks like Cabot, dude, listen, take my money. Take my money.
To you guys' point, conditions are a really big deal. You know what I mean? And I think either Bryson DeChambeau has touched on it. If you play a public course, which he has done on his YouTube channel, it's at least a 10-stroke difference in what you usually shoot,
Mm-hmm.
and that's an average. It could be a lot worse for a lot of people because at a place like ours, or at these prestigious golf courses, you're getting the same lie usually over and over. If you're in the fairway, you have a great lie. If you're on the green, you have true greens. You know what I mean? There isn't really too many variables that are going to change throughout your round. Whereas on just to say other courses, you're going to struggle with a bare lie or, maybe a cavity on a green or, I don't know. There's just a lot of variables that
Grass.
Oh, I wish I had the picture. I wish I had the picture, Florida Mike. I took them off though of our day 2 tournament at DC, man.
Oh yeah,
Lewis. I call it out when it needs to be called out, and it was a 2-day tournament, total public course. I mean, probably, I don't even know what the tag is. Probably a $60-$70 course per round. First day was a really nice place. It was the Lakes and the Oaks down in Virginia, but I don't even know what was going around the greens. Florida Mike, you remember the pictures, right? There was just these little of rough grass, and my ball kept getting caught in between them, and it was around the greens. And it was just like it was bad irrigation. You could tell that they were having problems there. You could tell it was just wasn't in good shape at all. But yeah, I wish I had the picture to show you because I'm sure you could have fixed it, man. You got that magic touch, bro.
Well, and it really comes down to, the budgeting. So when you look at a lot of these courses, the budget that you have for that course, a lot of supers are put in tough spots, in their careers because everybody wants a perfect course, whether you're at a private club where the members want great conditions, but probably not the budget's probably not there for them to
Mhm.
accommodate those conditions for you. I mean, so again, Cabot is so great because it's been amazing. I mean, whatever we need, they are there for the customer. Customer comes first, A1, day one, all the time. We want to give you guys the best conditions available, and they're behind us 100% because they know that's what's going to bring people back. Having great conditions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So, Lewis, I showed you this video before we got the ball rolling. I do want to show it because it's such a beautiful course. And you said most of this is not your course, right?
It's our property. I call it's our property. We're all
property.
grateful to be there. So
all right.
Oh,
so
he had a dabble in it, everything, a little bit of everything.
Sure. Gotcha. I know he did. I believe it. But so I'm going to run this video. We're going to take a short break. I'm going to run my ad read, and then we'll just be back to close things out. We'll have a few more questions for you. I like to ask a couple golf questions, and we'll close it out, man. But we'll be right back.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, cool. Is your swimming pool looking more like a pond these days? Don't sweat it. Swimming Pool Repair Experts has your back. Since 2000, Swimming Pool Repair Experts has been the trusted name for top-notch in-ground pool renovations across the greater capital region. From liner changes and pool bottom refinishing to plumbing repairs, opening, closings, and stunning upgrades like lighting, benches, stairs, and decks, Swimming Pool Repair Experts does it all. Their expert team is ready to bring your pool back to life so you can dive into some summer fun. Because what's better than taking a nice dip after a long round of golf? Get a hold of Jim over at Swimming Pool Repair Experts today at 518-858-2587. That's 518-858-2587. Or check his website out, swimmingpoolrepairexperts.com. And don't forget to tell Jim that you heard about him on the Upstate Golf Guys podcast for that extra discount. So it's so beautiful. That course is just absolutely beautiful, man. It really is. It's I'm so jealous that you get to go to that place every single day for work. I really truly am. Just amazing. So, Lewis, I have a couple more questions. We're going to close it out. But before we do, what do you hope golfers experience and remember about playing Cabot Citrus Farms?
I think Mike touched on it earlier. The hospitality we bring. When you get on property. I mean, the customer service. I want them to remember. How great. Everyone that shows up there to work, in my opinion, and everyone that I know gives their very best every single day. And I think the courses show you that. The property shows you that. The cottages, the real estate, everything there is going to show you that. A lot of people who are there are doing it for the right reasons and are in it for the right reasons. And when you leave there, I think you can, leave knowing that you got A1 service, from the moment you pulled into the gate to the moment you checked out. I think Cabot's doing it legitly the best way possible.
That's a great answer, man. I want to know my money is being well spent. And usually my favorite part of a golf course is I call it the vibe. If the vibe is awesome, everybody's very welcoming, whether you're a shitty golfer or a freaking stick, they invite you and they want you to come enjoy the course. Florida Mike Crump and Fox is a lot like that. The vibe over there, man, they want to talk. They come and ask you where you're from. They want to just talk golf. They just want to be your friend when you come there, which is awesome, man. It makes those nerves go away. Where sometimes you go to a private club or you go to a really nice place and they're a little like snooty or they're a little, and you feel a little funny about being there, man. And I think the vibe is just so important. It's and when I do ratings on a course, I always throw the vibe out there, bro. And it's so important. You were so right, Lewis.
Yeah.
But
Cabot's got the vibes, man.
Love it.
Oh,
I
for
love
sure.
it. I love it, man. All right. How do you see the future of golf course maintenance evolving, especially in the state of Florida, Lewis?
The future of it,
Yes.
I think it's bright. I think there's a lot of building going on, a lot of new constructions going on. Properties like Stream Song, and they're adding a course, and so I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. I think a lot of the people moving down south from up north, in your area, New York, and things like that, are just going to keep the business booming down here in Florida and hopefully across the nation, because golf is in a boom like I don't think we've ever seen before. Since COVID, It's kind of picked up. Tremendously so.
Sure has, man. It sure has.
Aren't you guys planning or currently starting to build another course?
Nope, not yet. I think there is property talks and things like that going on, but I can't touch on much of that stuff there.
Okay.
But I think
Classified. I got it.
The future looks bright, my friends.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, Lewis. Couple more questions, buddy. Couple more questions. What advice would you give a young person considering a career in golf course agronomy?
The advice I would say is, show up every day. I think the biggest part of this is showing up daily and, giving it your all. And that might sound cliche, but realistically, you guys are looking at a guy that started in the bunkers, about 10 years ago, climbed up to mowing greens, mowing fairways, then got on a spray rig, sprayed chemicals, did a bit of irrigation, became a first assistant, technically just climbed the ranks, kind of how you would want to do it, in my opinion. And I think when you look at a guy like myself who's been through that route and done it that way, just stay consistent. Consistency is key. There's going to be days when we all wake up and we don't want to do, whether it's our job or we all have bad days, you know what I mean? But all I can say is just stay motivated, stay consistent, and show up. And if it's for you, it's for you. At the end of the day, God determines it all. And my journey has been a blessed one, and I'm just happy to be here, man.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And before we close it out, man, you got to tell me a little bit about this. Tell me a little bit about this, bro.
Oh, Grant Horvat. Yeah. So he actually came down. That's when the course is actually, the roost is still under big construction. I was actually over on the squeeze still as the interim super. And he came out, and this is when he was still doing his, what would you call them? Stingers. He was doing the stinger video still on YouTube.
Yeah.
He actually tore up our number 9 hole there on the squeeze because he probably took 120 divots in the approach, And so the divot guys are pretty busy the following day. But no, super cool guy, rose up. I'm on the green checking out one of the bunkers there. He's in the cart. I look up, I'm like, holy macro, here's Grant Horvat. And basically gave me about 10 minutes of his time, asked me about the course, construction, everything else. And super down to earth. A great guy. My 10 minutes with him were amazing. The dude is super down to earth. I couldn't complain. A really great experience there. And of course, we had to snag a photo and, take a selfie. And that one's in the memory books.
Awesome. Well, you said it, golf is growing, and I think Grant Horvat is growing the game. So huge himself.
They had good there. They had Rick Shields.
Yep.
They got a lot of big YouTubers. I think Bob Does Sports was there or may be coming there.
Yeah.
I heard.
Yeah,
So
want to hear a cool story on Good. They were actually, the day they were playing, they were on number 13 of the Roost about to tee off, and I'm actually playing, with the assistant director and a few guys from work, and they're filming on 13, but they got like 12 guys with them. So we're coming off 12 green, and we're kind of like, all right, we're going to need to play through here, and they were actually nice enough, we're and kind of let us play through. So we actually, the nerves were up a lot there because now you got, 12 people watching you, cameras rolling, and you
millions of followers. You're hitting in front of millions, technically. You know what I'm saying?
So luckily, I think 3 of the 4 of us hit pretty good drives, and the rest is history. But that was a good little story there of Good being on 13 tee box there.
That's awesome.
That's definitely a good memory to have, man. That's awesome. All right, listen, I don't want to keep too much of your time, Lewis. I know you probably have to get up early in the morning for an important job, bro. But last question, what's your favorite club in your bag that you use? I always like asking every golfer this question. I'm always curious.
Can I pick two or just one?
Sure. Pick two, pick three, man. Go ahead.
So I'd say my 6-iron and then my approach wedge, my A wedge. Those are my go-tos. If I'm struggling a bit off the tee box with the driver, my 6-iron, I don't like going any lower than that because it gets a little more inconsistent. But my 6 gets me out there a pretty good spot. In the tees we play from, I'm usually in a good spot. The A wedge, it's like a Swiss knife. I can chip with it, anywhere from 100 to 130 yards. I can kind of 3/4 it, half swing it, do all those good things. So they're my go-tos for sure.
So you're saying you only need like 3 or 4 clubs in your bag and you're good. Those 3 clubs in the putter and we're good.
No.
But all right, Lewis, listen, tell everybody if they're coming down to the beautiful state of Florida where they can find you.
Hey, you guys can find me over at Cabot Citrus Farms, man, in Brooksville, superintendent on the Roost, and I'm super grateful you guys had me on today, man.
Yeah. And what's your IG?
My IG is actually Chosen Golf, and that's on Instagram. I have Threads also, and my Facebook page is just Luis Rivera. But
awesome, Lewis.
And you forgot one more question, actually.
What do you got?
Did.
Yeah, you forgot. You could choose 3 golfers for your perfect foursome, dead or alive. Who would you choose?
I like it.
Whew, that's a good one. I mean, Tiger. Come on, that's like an easy one, right?
Yeah.
Tiger's in there. I guess a newer one would be Scotty Scheffler. Dude's amazing as well. So I'd go Tiger, Scotty, and I'd go with Jack Nicklaus.
Good one.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good one.
And I'd probably be watching from the sideline, looking for my ball in the trees or something. All right.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Mike,
the amount of knowledge in that foursome would be insane.
Crazy.
Mike, thanks for that. I forgot. I do like asking everybody that question as well. So
you got co-host, big dog.
I know, brother. But all right, again, Lewis, go get a good night rest because you got an important job in the morning. Go make that course as beautiful as it is, man, and keep it beautiful. And I'm going to be down there next year to see you, brother.
Hey, we'll host you, man. You come on down. We'll take care of you for sure.
Appreciate you, Lewis. All right, everybody. And everyone, again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Upstate Golf Guys podcast. Don't forget to go over and check out Trouble Off the Tee and use Upstate 20 at checkout. And 88 Links Golf, our newest sponsor, and use Upstate 20 at checkout for that discount. And Florida Mike was showing that awesome trophy off of his last win. Congratulations again, Florida Mike.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
feels good.
buddy.
Still feels good.
Right. I know it does. All right, everyone. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Eagle, birdie, par, bogey, fly. Swing that club, watch it sky. Lombardi putter shine so clean. Golfing addicts chasing the green. Upstate golf guys, that's the vibe. Golf and laughs keep us alive. Tune in now, don't you see? Podcast legends, it's Anthony and me.